You found the Live Local Marketing Podcast, where business owners share their knowledge about what's working in the market today. No fluff, just their experiences and stories from people who are making it happen. And if authentic, practical marketing resonates with you, be sure to visit livelocalwarmmarketing.com and learn to grow your business on warm marketing referrals. Now, on to the show. Welcome. You found the Live Local Marketing Podcast today. We're with Aurora. Ma'am, how are we feeling today?
Awesome.
Ready to go? Yeah.
Absolutely
Okay.
ready to go. And I'm looking forward to helping the listeners turn their words into wealth.
Perfect. All right. Aurora Winter, she's an MBA and a successful entrepreneur, best-selling author, TV producer, and founder of SamePagePublishing.com. Using her expertise in film and neuroscience, she helps people tell memorable stories that build brands, books, and businesses. Her experts, she turns words into wealth. That's the book. Experts turn their words into wealth. It's winner of an outstanding, thank you for the visual aid. It's the winner of the Outstanding Nonfiction Book of the Year Award, or his books, Turn Words into Wealth Blueprint. Share 7 ways to generate 7 figures, and Aura will share how the right words can dramatically increase income, impact, and influence. And she's going to provide visual aids as we go, because apparently I need a little bit of help as we go. Aurora, ma'am, are you ready to go today?
I'm ready to rock and roll, Billy.
All right, let's do this. As an entrepreneur, what would you consider your first win?
Well, I like to reframe this question because I think for me, I like to look at the first win for my clients. So what I really love, I had a first win recently, a client, I helped her write her book, which is amazing, super busy person, didn't really have time for lights, camera, action, but she wanted to launch a YouTube channel. So we created a new process whereby we launched her YouTube channel, and it only takes her 15 minutes a week to approve the scripts. So we handle everything else. I write the scripts for her based on her content, based on all the interviews, based on her book. She just approves them, which usually takes her 2 seconds, but 15 minutes max. And then we use AI to create beautiful videos using an AI avatar. And so she's able to stay in touch with her audience, continue adding value. She's only got 5 videos so far on her channel, but she's already got 10,000 subscribers. So this is the 1-2 punch that really works well to dominate the top 3 search engines. Is have a book, like Billy's got a new book. Have your book. That's your legacy piece of intellectual property. But then you also need to keep in touch with people each week and give them new content. So I thought that was a great first win for my client, getting her message clear in her book, The Vitality Solution, and then turning it into a YouTube channel, because YouTube is the number 2 search engine. Amazon is number 3. That's why you need a book.
Yeah. YouTube number 2. Do you often find it kind of difficult for authors to promote themselves, because they're not usually the type that push themselves very much?
Authors do have problems promoting themselves. And that's why I just love to encourage people to have an evergreen marketing approach. It's never too late to market your book. Also, the really cool thing is you can always update your book. Like I'm updating Turn Words into Wealth. There's going to be a 2026 edition because there's so many new things that happened with AI and with YouTube becoming the number 2 search engine. More people search for movies on YouTube than on Netflix or Amazon Prime or other places. It's 16% of internet traffic is on YouTube. So I really encourage people to have a strong presence on YouTube. And then Amazon is the number 3 search engine, and it's the best way to be an authority. The root of the word authority is author. And then as things are changing with AI, which we'll probably get into in a different question, but as things are changing from search engine optimization, SEO, to GEO, generative engine optimization, we need to be aware of that and jump on it. I think 2026 is the most amazing breakthrough year to take advantage of AI. The early adopters who go, hey, wait a minute, the market, the playing field changed, and they jump on it in 2026, I think they're going to have outsized rewards, whereas people who don't notice that things just changed are going to be left behind.
We're going to shift gears a little bit. So we're going to talk about budgeting. So when you meet the authors, every author wants to make money, be rich selling books, but that's not the reality. How's that conversation look with them when they come and say, listen, I make money from my book?
Well, it's really fun. I have an MBA. I've launched several different seven-figure businesses. I'm a creative entrepreneur at heart that expresses itself in books, in videos, but also in creative budgeting and coming up with a
Yeah.
plan. So how
Yeah.
I start with my clients is we also always start with a strategic brand blueprint. So I like to work
Mm.
with clients where we are very confident that whatever my team and I do for them will produce a 2x to 10x return on investment. So, for example, a book can be a
Mm.
big investment of time and money, but it becomes a legacy piece of content. It's kind of like having an MBA or a PhD or an MD. You
Ah,
don't actually expect the degree itself to bring you money, but the degree brings you to the next level. So a book works that way. Without being a published author, you simply cannot get on big stages. You cannot get on the bigger podcasts. And a book will work very nicely to attract your ideal client and repel people who aren't your ideal client. But you need to have a business. If you're
yeah.
already a successful professional, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you run a marketing firm, a book can easily generate 2 to 10x what it costs you in time to do it. But if you're running a 7 or 8 figure business, it's a complete no-brainer.
Yeah.
But where people go wrong is in my opinion, they expect the book to make 7 figures for them. And that is a really uh, hard thing to pull off, not impossible. But in this book, Turn Words into Wealth, I talk about 7 different ways to make 7 figures with your book, all proven ways I've done or other people have done. So you have the proven method, and making 7 figures with your book is way number 8. So it is important to have a strategic plan to monetize your book, and it can be monetized handsomely.
I cannot wait to get my hands on that one. We're doing a little book exchange here with us, so I'm excited for yours. Oh, that's great. All right, so we talked AI. Let's dive into it. So you've already started talking about some of the AI you're using. What are some of the best, let's say 3 best practices of AI right now for you? A quick break before we get to that next answer, because I know that answer is going to be brilliant, which is why I chose this moment to interrupt. If you love what you're seeing and you want to run your business off of warm marketing referrals, visit our website, livelocalwarmmarketing.com. It's got valuable resources, office hours, memberships, the book, an array of resources to help you get rid of cold calls, cold leads, door knocking, and run a business you can be proud of through referrals and warm marketing. Now, back to the show.
I think the best practices around AI in the publishing or video production end of things is to create, I'm forgetting what they call it now, a ChatGPT program that you really work on hard. So, for example, uh, I think there are 4 human superpowers that we
Yeah.
never want to lose sight of, even as we leverage AI. So and it's more important than ever to know what these superpowers are
Yeah.
because you don't want to use AI to be more efficient and lose what makes your brand extraordinary. So AI just split the market in two: ordinary and forgettable, produced by AI, and remarkable and extraordinary and
Mhm.
unforgettable, which is luxury. We must
Huge difference.
position you and your brand as the luxury tier, not the genetic
Yeah.
generic, maybe
I
genetic,
got
but
you.
anyway,
Sure.
generic, ordinary
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, you wanna but double down on your stories and the stories of people that you have changed. You wanna double down on your own personal aesthetic, your taste, your unique quirks, as they may be. You wanna also double down on your, um, coaching skill, your leadership skill, your ability to draw out the best in others by asking powerful questions. And then number 4, your presence, whether it's on video like this, or networking, or at an event, or an in-person podcast, or in person talking to people, or having lunch, or having coffee. So those are the 4 things we don't want to sacrifice. But then we can use AI to speed things up. So, for example, I interview people to help them create their book. And then that's got their words, their voice, their stories. But then I use AI to spell check it and say, was there
Yeah.
anything missing? Or I could say, do a little bit of research. The client said this data point. Is that true? Let's check it, right? And that's where AI is really strong. It's basically an intern with a PhD. You wouldn't trust an intern with a PhD to write your book for you, but you would trust it to go and do some research.
Oh, editing. I didn't even think of that. That's a good one. That's excellent. Yeah. All right. So let's shift gears one more time. So talk to us about one cold marketing strategy that you use with your authors that's working, and then one warm marketing strategy, and if you have examples.
Okay. I don't really know that I do any cold marketing anymore.
That's why we're friends. That's it.
That's why we're buddies. Yeah. So my marketing is so darn simple. It's really just two things. I've written 10 books, so I have a number of books on Amazon. Sometimes people find me, they read my book, they're like, oh, I need help with my book, or launching my videos, or I would like a strategic brand blueprint, or I'd like some media coaching. Aurora seems like my kind of person. They read the book, they make a schedule a free call with me at bookcall.biz, and the next thing they know, we're working together. So I could give my book away for free because it's generated probably $1 million easily for me through this process. And the other thing I do is podcasts. So people can listen to me on a podcast, then maybe they read my book, or maybe they don't, maybe they just book a call. And again, they feel like they know me even before I have a chance to meet them. So what I like about warm marketing, which is, one of your main messages, Billy, is give the other person an opportunity to know, like, and trust you. Oh, and I should say I also have YouTube channels. So Strategic Basics, we give free content every week. We also have animated. I write fantasy too. We have an animated channel at Anna Zest Series for my young adult fantasy trilogy. And we actually had a video just go viral with 400,000 views. So that was kind of nice. So those are the three things I do. I have a book or several on Amazon, so people can discover me around the world. I do podcast interviews like this one, which is cool because I get to meet the podcast host, and people can hear me and see if they vibe with me. And then we have the YouTube channels.
I want to, before we get to the next one, I got one more follow-up, quick one. So when you focus in the warm marketing, and you teach most of your people through warm marketing, it seems, how does the neuroscience, how does that play into it? You've got the background in neuroscience. There has to be a connection.
Yeah. Well, neuroscience is behind all kinds of effective communication. And we have not been taught how to communicate effectively. Anybody who's well educated in university has been very poorly educated in communication. So you always want to make 3 steps with communication. And they're very simple to do, but most people do them in the wrong order, or they forget to do one step. And I did these steps at the very beginning of the podcast, which you probably didn't even notice. But number 1, you want to catch the croc brain. And the croc brain is looking for, why should I listen? What's in it for me? So I did that when I said I look forward to helping the audience turn their words into wealth.
It's great.
So it's about the other person. It's not about me, right? So most people, when they're networking, they say, my company name is, I've been doing it for 15 years. People have glazed over by then. Videos are memorable within 1.7 seconds. 1.7 seconds.
That's, goldfish.
So make the first 5 seconds or 2 seconds of your talk count, and say how it is valuable for others. That's the croc brain. That applies to video. That applies to the first chapter of the book. It applies to every 2 minutes of this conversation. And the second step is midbrain. This is a step people often forget. Midbrain is the social brain, and it's always looking for, who else thinks this is a good idea? Why should I listen to Billy? Why should I listen to Aurora? Who else thinks it's okay? And that's where, when you said, actually, you handled this, you said, that Turn Words into Wealth, one outstanding nonfiction book of the year, that's social proof. Being on this podcast with you, it's social proof. But that is a second step. It can be done quickly. Always do that in your communication. And then the third step is the cerebral cortex. And that's where you get to deliver the core of your message, your story, your statistic, the meat. But most people start there. And you haven't earned the right to have attention yet. So first, address the croc brain with what's in it for them. Second, give a little taste of who else thinks this is valuable. And then you have permission to talk for maybe 5 minutes, in this case, on your show, 2 minutes,
20.
Before you go on to the next thing. And communication is a dance. And every time you close a loop, you want to open again with the same kind of things. And an example would be when you ask a question, Billy, that's kind of croc brain. It's like, okay, now we're going to talk about X.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. All right. All right. So yeah, so many things. Got so many more ideas. That is so much. I
All
got so
right.
much stuff going through my head now. Like, all right, all right. We gotta shift. We gotta keep it moving though. So next, you talked about video marketing already. I'm assuming there's going to be a little pushback from authors. They're writing because they don't love being out and about. So when you get that pushback from authors and so forth about video marketing, how does that conversation look for you?
Well, I mean, I have an easy solution if the people don't like to be on camera. For example, I write fiction as well as nonfiction. I'm one of the few, you know, media strategists who can do both fiction and nonfiction. I have a background in film and television. I've written fiction books, but also dramatic screenplays. So for my fiction authors, I'm like, well, let's just take little segments of your book and we can turn that into
Okay.
dramatic videos for you. So I have a thriller author. His name's Michael Stockham. And my team, created a whole bunch of little short clips for him to put on TikTok and other places about the book with a hook about, okay, oh, that sounds like an interesting book. We can also use those videos on Amazon now for Amazon ads. If it is a nonfiction book, usually the authors of nonfiction books love to talk about what they're doing because they're business owners. But
Yes.
again, I gave that example of Carrie Mancarini, who wrote The Vitality Solution. She's actually good on camera, but she's very busy running her health spa in Northern California. So it works better for her to have an animated avatar. It works better for her to spend, 5 to 15 minutes a week, probably 5 minutes, but anyway, 15 minutes at most, just approving the script. So I write the script, my team and I create the video. All she has to do is say, I wouldn't say that word. Can you swap one word out? Or it's Christmas and we've got a special on. So stuff like that. And then for the authors that I work with who are experts in a field, they love talking to camera and they benefit by media coaching. So first we get the clear on the message, then we do the media coaching, and then we come up with a consistent format. So we have a structure for their YouTube channel launch. And so then they know, hey, it's a 5-minute video. I got to open with the hook. And then I have the
Yeah.
midbrain, and then we have the 3 points, and then we wrap up with the CTA. And once they've been given that guidance, then they're away to the races by and large. And video produces such trust. It's great not to miss out on that valuable asset.
Absolutely. They can see your expressions, they can see your tone, they can see your face. It just has much, much bigger impact than an audio. So much difference.
And they can hear your expertise and that you care. And then it's much easier for people because they feel like they know you already. It's much easier for them to jump on a call and say, hey, I'd love to explore working together.
Excellent. All right. So let's shift gears one more time. So you probably once in a while, like once people hear that this is what you do, oh, I've always had a book idea in my head and I just don't have the confidence in me. There's no way I could write a book. Tell us how you shift that conversation from somebody who thinks they have something, but not the confidence.
Well, it's funny because I have a whole chapter in Turn Words into Wealth about mindset. And what I want people to know is you're not alone. Everybody has moments of self-doubt. Everybody thinks, I'm an imposter. Everybody gets tripped up by procrastination. I'll do it later when I have more time or when I'm more educated or when I'm more successful or fill in the blank. But here's the thing, writing the book will help you become more clear and more successful.
Yeah.
Right? And so again, the root of the word authority is author. And even before publishing your book, I'd love to hear what you want to say about this, Billy. Even before publishing your book, the process of writing it makes you more clear, concise, commanding, and compelling, especially the way that we create books at Same Page Publishing. So we create, firstly, the strategic blueprint. We make sure that the book will help this person make 2 to 10 times what they're investing in getting a book done. Then we create, say, a 7-chapter outline, and then I interview them for about an hour for each chapter. But they know in advance we've worked together to create that chapter outline. And so they have time to think about their stories, their statistics, what they want to share. And it's very easy for people to talk about their areas of passion or their areas of expertise. Nobody has any trouble with that. And then we have the first draft is basically the transcript. And then we clean that up so that it's a book instead of a transcript, and go back and forth with the
Yep.
client. But each stage, even way before their book comes out, they're getting more and more confident. And then the other thing that we do that is extraordinary is the video podcast creating the book become content. So already they
Mm,
can launch their YouTube channel. Already they have
yeah.
something to share on social media. And so we build their community and we build their confidence as we help them build their $1 million message. And so the book doesn't get published to crickets and nobody anticipating it, because as we're writing the book, we're building their community, usually on YouTube, but it could be LinkedIn or TikTok or whatever's appropriate for their book.
So it's a gradual process, and that's how you build the confidence through step by step. It makes complete sense. All right. So last question before we get to your business. And this is, I just like to know the answer to this for everybody. You're doing a million different things. You're doing this, you got your hands in this, hands in this, hands in that meetings. How do you not burn out? What things do you do to kind of rejuvenate and
I'm
recharge?
suspecting this as a personal motivation with this question.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Well,
I'm poking
it
your
is
brain.
January as we're recording this, so a lot of
Oh,
people
man.
experience burnout after Christmas. So what I do is I pay attention to my sleep. I think a lot of people
Okay.
are pushing all the time. I make sure that I allocate enough time for sleep. I do not believe in setting my alarm to wake up at 4 or 5. I like to wake up naturally. And so rest and recovery is important. I also meditate every day and I exercise
Mm,
every day. So those
cool.
things help me skip burnout. But I did just recover from a cold, going to visit my family and being on a
Yeah. The
plane and,
holidays. Yeah.
eating more
Yeah.
sugar than I normally do contributed. So I just gave myself permission to rest and recover. So I think if people listening to this are experiencing burnout, pay attention to eating, pay attention to drinking your water, taking your vitamins, especially vitamin C. Make sure you get enough sleep. And if you don't already, exercise every day. Perhaps just go for a walk every day.
Oh, good.
And I like meditating, but any kind of centering meditation, whether it's just going for a walk in nature, can be equivalent in terms of value to your brain if you're not happy with the word meditation. Anything
No,
where you're not always checking your phone
thinking.
and busy, busy, busy.
Well, yeah, actually, I have the meditation part. So meditation, you probably have a certain time of day where you do it. But do you find yourself like in a stressful situation saying, you know what, I need to take 10 minutes and just stop, meditate, and then get back into work again? Do you ever do that?
In fact, I did that yesterday.
Gotcha.
I had something that didn't go quite as well as I hoped,
It
and
happens.
I'm
Yep.
like, okay, I'm feeling a bit derailed. And I've learned that it's best for me not to make decisions or keep working when I'm emotionally derailed, because I'll make bad decisions and I'll probably
Yeah.
have to undo all the work I did.
Yeah.
So even though I'd already exercised in the morning, I put on my jogging shorts and I went for a 3-mile jog. And
Okay.
at the end of that, I felt centered again. So your body can really help you let go of things, or it does for me anyway.
The number of unsent emails in my email box from like the therapeutic, like this is what I would like to say. And the key to that though is not putting their email in there or do it.
That
Just
is the
do the
key, because
body.
you get
Just do
sent it by
the
accident.
body. Just do the body. Just do the body paragraph. All
I
right.
just
So
want
this
to
has
say, like,
been
burnout is part of life. We are far
yes.
more like the
Yeah.
ocean than we expect. So the ocean has high tides and low tides. It has a
Yeah.
rhythm. And so don't be surprised. And tomorrow is a new day.
That I could probably ask 100,000 more questions about the neuroscience, about writing books, about I really could, but we're out of time. So what we're gonna do is, well, maybe there'll be a part 2 someday. I really have a lot more
All
follow-up
right.
questions, but we're gonna stick to it. We're a 20-minute episode. That's what we're gonna do today. So give us the
Okay.
outro. Talk about your business and your elevator
There's
pitch
even a
or whatever.
neuroscience to that. 20 minutes is
What's that?
about
Oh yeah.
ideal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, it's good.
That's how long people can easily listen to it.
Accidentally successful. That's what I'm thriving on.
Accidentally
Accidental
successful.
success. So we'll do the outro and then how people get a hold of you. Go right ahead.
All right. So at Same Page Publishing, samepagepublishing.com, what we do is we launch thought leaders. So if this resonated with you and you are already, you know, a successful entrepreneur or leader in some capacity, and you think, hey, I'd love to nail my message, get my strategic brand blueprint really clear. I'd love to see if writing a book can create a return on investment for me. So people can go to bookcall.biz and they can book a call with me, bookcall.biz, or they can just go to Same Page Publishing and find out about the people that we've helped. And it's really my honor and privilege. Like after I got my MBA in 2015, I really wanted to ask God, like, how can I be most useful? And I felt like the most useful thing I could do with my background as a serial entrepreneur, as a TV producer, and as an author would be to help other people who were already up to something create a much more compelling message so they could share it in a book, share it in videos, and make more income and make more impact.
Excellent. I think that, again, I could probably ask you 100,000 more questions, but if you have any inkling of at all being an author or getting into it, please go to the website and set up your time to speak with Miss Winter. And again, thank you for your time and your knowledge. We appreciate you today.